Rodriguez.
Good evening. Hola. Yeah, okay, so it's great to be here. So just a few rules. Please no heckling, and you can talk to the comedians if they ask you a question. And there's a 2-drink minimum. It keeps the club open. That's good, and it's good for me too. So yeah. So there's a great show tonight, and I guess I used to be in therapy. And then I discovered stand-up comedy, you know. And then I discovered that comedy open mic was a lot cheaper than therapy. You know? So yeah, the copay is only 2 drinks. So yeah. And and then you get this emotional support microphone, you know. So, and it's really great because at first, you know, I felt kind of guilty, but then I realized it's for a worthy cause. It keeps the young comedians off the streets at night, you know, and I get to enjoy 2 drinks. So like, drink up. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Drink up. Think of it as group therapy with drinks, you know. So, and my wife and I are Catholic. For Lent, my wife decided we're giving up drinking, so that meant no alcohol when I was with my wife. So during Lent, I went to open mics every night. Yeah. But I'm really happy to be here because I'm married with children and I enjoy speaking for 5 minutes uninterrupted. So I don't get to speak a lot at home. So I would have been perfect for that movie, A Quiet Place. I remember all those lines. So, yeah. Yeah. So since nobody listens to me at home, I bought an Alexa, and so the other day I said, "Alexa, play some coffee house music," and she said, "Regular or decaf?" And my wife comes running in and says, "Like, I hear you talking to your girlfriend," and I'm like, "No, it's Alexa. Listen." She's playing decaffeinated music. And now I'm really nervous because I'm afraid she's gonna find out about my other 2 girlfriends, Siri and Cortana. So, yeah, yeah. I live an exciting life, don't I? Yeah. So, Halloween, you get a lot of candy for Halloween? No, right? What's the worst thing you can give out for Halloween to the kids?
Drugs.
Man, that's worse than what I had to give. Oh my God. Well, my wife went to work and I was in charge of the trick-or-treaters and my wife left me a box of granola bars. The first kids come to the door, ring the doorbell, I give them granola bars and they walk away grumbling and they tell all the kids, "Don't go to that house. They're giving away granola bars." And nobody else came, so. Well, it was kind of good, but then I put the box of granola bars on the porch with a sign that said, "Take 1." And then the first kids came back and returned the granola bars. So if you'd like a granola bar, see me after the show. But a little bit about myself. I identify as Mexican. I try to speak the lingo, right? And I come from a small Mexican family of 6. Well, my mother's family and my father's family, they each had 15 children. And my mother thinks she's still a virgin because she only had 6 children. And some people don't believe I'm Mexican because I don't have a mustache. You know? So I don't check off all the boxes. But, oh, thank you. 1 box checked off. But yeah, my first language is Spanish, and when I went to school, to kindergarten, I didn't speak a word of English. I didn't know what was going on. But luckily, I sat next to Bridget Riley, and I said, just do everything Bridget Riley does. Bridget took out her crayons, I took out my crayons. Bridget put her head down and take a nap, I put my head down and take a nap. Bridget stood up and said, hello, my name is Bridget Riley. I stood up and I said, hello, my name is Bridget Riley. I didn't know. And then later on, I got in trouble because I followed Bridget to the girls' bathroom. So Spanish is my job now. I teach Spanish. I teach at a university, so there's a foreign language requirement, and a lot of students take Spanish because they think it's the easiest language to learn, because they think all you have to do is add O to any English word, right? I asked the student, Robert, what can you say in Spanish? He's like, Mayo namo is Roberto. Well, Roberto is in Spanish, right? Or they think they know Spanish because they know words like taco, fajitas, and yo quiero Taco Bell. So, and when I was a new teacher, students were messing with me, right? And so like in class, they're telling me like, how do you say, I'm like, no. And, you're the teacher, so you have to take command of the place, right? So I'm like, no, you have to say, ¿Cómo se dice? And they're like, all right, ¿Cómo se dice burrito in Espanol? I'm like, it's already in Spanish. Didn't you notice how it ended in O? Right? Oh, and by the way, if you go to Mexico, do not order a burrito. They'll wonder what you plan on doing with a small donkey. Yeah, all right. Okay, good. All right, thanks for the explanation. Next time we'll do subtitles. Oh yeah, it's subtitles too. You ever watch those movies in Spanish and they don't do a good job of translating those subtitles because they'll be swearing, and if you know Spanish, you're like, oh my God, those are the worst words in the language. The subtitle will say, you moron, you flubbed it up. Nothing like that, not a faithful translation. But the other thing too, the students messing with, and everybody thinks learning a language is about translation, right? So, but it's not. But then they ask me, ¿Cómo se dice jazz hands? and I'm, oh, that's easy. Manos de flamenco. But my favorite one was, ¿Cómo se dice bootylicious? And it's not in the dictionary, but I gave him an answer. Oh, that's easy. Bootylicious. Oh yeah, the other day my coffee maker broke, and I didn't want to wait 2 days for Amazon to deliver one. So yeah, right, 2 days. So I went to Walmart, and I made the mistake of wearing a blue polo shirt. And I'm checking out the coffee makers, and this elderly woman comes up to me, starts asking me questions about the coffee makers. And I was able to answer all of her questions because I did my research on the internet, right? And she picks out a coffee maker, and I put it in her cart. And then just then, 2 Walmart employees come up to me, and I'm thinking, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. And they tell me, hey, it's break time. So I go to the break room. I have a cup of coffee. And to make a long story short, on Sunday I'm subbing for Sheila. And I bought a coffee maker with my employee discount. So, do you like my shirt? Yeah. I bought it in Spain. Yeah, no, really. And I decided I'd like to explore my ancestry. So I go to Spain, but my luggage goes to Mexico. And I'm like, Vegas, right? And I could just imagine a baggage handler in Dublin, Ireland, Spain, Mexico, what's the difference? So I had to buy all new clothes. And, but I like Spain. Everybody there spoke Spanish. All the signs were in Spanish. I felt like I was back home in Chicago. And and then they were amazed that I could speak Spanish. And they're like, where did you learn to speak Spanish? And I told them, Chicago. Which was true. But yeah. Oh yeah, and my name's David Diego Rodriguez. I'm following the family tradition of being poor. You know, I'm really poor and I'm usually broke, but people don't notice because I'm asymptomatic. You know, so. And one time, I was a victim of identity theft, and my credit score went up. I felt so rich, you know. I didn't report it right away. I was able to finally get that car loan. Yeah. But no, my whole family was poor. My dad's car was an old beater, and he would tell everybody it was the color of rust, but it was actually rust, you know. And it had a coat hanger for an antenna that doubled as a spare TV. You know. It had an 8-track player. It didn't work, but it had an 8-track player. And he'd get to like you ever get to a 4-way stop and nobody knows which car should go next? My father always had the right of way. They'd wave him through. Go. And it was great. We couldn't afford to go to the amusement park. So my dad, he said it was the amusement park, but he would take us to the car wash. And we'd go through the car wash, and the windows were so leaky, we'd be soaking wet when we came out of the other end, but we'd be in there and we're like, yay, tidal wave! Dad, can we go again? Right? It was kind of nice. And the other thing about the car, it had you ever hear of that 460 air conditioning? Where you roll down all 4 windows and go 60 miles an hour? That was my dad's car. Yeah. I don't have any dog hair on me, but I rescued a dog, you know, so it makes me feel good about myself, you know. Went to posh Chicago, and it's a mixed breed, but when I was there, I messed up, and I was like, oh, it's a mutt. And they're like, no, it's a mixed breed, you can't say that, right? But, yeah, and it's kind of, I like the dog, so. Well, we had our previous dog for like 17 years, and it got old, we had to put it to sleep. And then after a while, I said, no more dogs, and it was kind of heartbreaking. But after a while, I kept hearing, Dad, can we get another dog? Dad, we promised to walk it. Dad, we promised to feed it. And that was just my wife, you know. And so we go, my wife and I agreed, no Chihuahuas, no pit bulls, right? And so we get this dog, perfect. Doesn't bark, doesn't bite, and then we decide to get the DNA done on it. It's half Chihuahua, half pit bull. It looks like a Chihuahua on steroids, you know. Maybe I could have an audition for one of those superhero movies, you know. So, but it's kind of, I don't know, I like the dog. And it came with the name Earl, and so I decided to keep the name because it fits in with the other dogs we had. We had Duke and Princess and Queenie, so Earl fished right in with that royal lineage, you know. So I don't like to brag. No, well, I do like to brag, but I was once in a movie. Yeah, so, but it was a porn movie. And it was typecasting. It's not what you think. But it had a speaking part. Because not everybody gets a speaking part in those movies, right? So before I leave, I tell my wife, remember to let the plumber in. And boy, does she let the plumber in. And then she lets the DoorDash guy in. And then she lets the Uber Eats guy in. And in fact, she let all 3 of them in at the same time. You have to check out this movie. You have to check out this movie. It's called Thank You, Essential Workers.